One might read the title of this video and become confused. What does he mean by that? Well, I'm going to elaborate. Um, Obviously, I'm out of high school. I made a video about it, and I've just sort of been in reflection, if you will. And I always think about people who, I don't talk to anymore, just kind of have moved past and away. Uh, and just it's sort of more reflection than anything else because at the same time of thinking about them, you want to see what you possibly did wrong to cause that relationship to end, or make it bad, or just cause it to cease. I think of myself as someone who is neutral on their views of themselves. So I can say negative things about myself, I can say positive things. Just I know there's no way of just saying, oh, I'm completely unbiased, because I am, in or in some regards, but it's really just limited to what I know. I know. Case in point, I know what happens in a relationship that I'm involved with, be it platonic or romantic or anything of that nature. Um, and just with in knowing that, I don't really tend to draw as much blame onto the other person, because a lot of times I'll think, oh, it's me, it's me. This happened because of this, because of what I did, taking the whole blame for them. Um, and obviously it's a two-way street, just in any interactions between people. Closing that up. So I'm going to address a few relationships that have ceased over the years, and then kind of segue into the main topic of this video. Now, the first one I always tend to go back to. I had this one guy I was friends with all throughout middle school. I mean, we weren't close, but we certainly had an acquaintance that, persisted for years. I considered us friends, whatever. And, he just abruptly stopped speaking to me. I tried to contact him on social media, and I'm not really getting much response. I'm the kind of person who, after a while, if you don't reciprocate, okay, I'll move on. Um, but it was really surprising, because you get so used to interacting with a person here and there that when it stops, it's just bizarre to you. Um, One of the things that helped me to move past that was just the fact that we didn't really talk all that much anyway. Partly because anytime I would contact him, he either wouldn't respond or would abruptly cut off, that kind of deal. Another occasion, and this one is just so stupid. There was a this classmate of mine, and she was so nice and so wonderful and whoop de doop de doo. Um, spoke to her a couple times in physical, and then once school got out, tried speaking to her on social media, didn't respond, and I was just sitting there like, what is this? And it's so bizarre to me, because I'll get responses from people that I didn't even really speak to that much, and that will actually tend to go a little bit more, be long lasting rather, and it kind of, I'm sort of mixed on that, because on one hand, yeah, you want to meet new people, or people you want to get to know them better than you did before. On the other hand, I already have people I talk to. But I'm welcome to new individuals, and just continuing to expand that roster of people I'm familiar with. Um, so like I said, she stopped speaking to me. I moved on. Uh, Hers was a little bit harder to do, because I actually was in that kind of mindset of, oh, she's so special and she's so wonderful. And I actually would credit her with just kind of removing that vibe I had from, seeing girls. I mean, just like, not just in general, basically. You'll see this one girl and you go, oh man, she's really, really attractive. And I still find girls attractive. But I don't go, oh, she's so special. She's so unique. I don't feel that way anymore. And it's almost as if it's been directed towards all of them. And I know it's not, but it's just, I can't make them out to be more than what they are. If am I special? Some people might say yes, some people might say no. I tend to just stay in the middle and go, I am who I am. There's only one me. If that makes me special, then so be it. If it doesn't, then oh well. Um, so that's another one. The final one, and this is the one that kind of basically set the premise of this of the video that I'm doing right now, um, with another childhood friend. Now this is even more bizarre because we went to the same school twice after a little period of no interaction. Never really close that much, whatever. Try speaking to her on social media, doesn't respond. Um, and then this was kind of repeated a little while ago with another classmate I had a few years ago, sometime in the past. But it's beholden to me. I love how I just keep that's my new word I'm using. It's my new catchphrase, beholden. It's beholden to me that they're not answering me. Um, and I sometimes think about life. I think about it in a way of just, I started to date my videos. I think of, this winding down clock. We're getting closer and closer, starting, college, and then, just the school year midway through, and then school year all the way through, and then start the next school year. It's this clock that's ticking and ticking and ticking, and I try to get the most enjoyment out of it that I possibly can. And so, in a way, because of that, I don't really focus on these people that much. I mean, the only times I really think about them are when I'm reminded of, let's say that first dude I mentioned threw spaghetti at somebody. I see a little kid throw spaghetti at somebody. I go, oh, it's just like that one guy. But aside from that, they don't really pop up to me anymore. They're not recurring enough to where uh, I would, just be thinking of them readily. And make no mistake about it, it does bother me to cut people off or to be cut off. But I can't allow myself to focus on someone who doesn't want to reciprocate my interest in any meaning of the word. And I think if more people took that approach, we wouldn't have as many just you obviously have these cases of people following behind each other and all that stuff. It seems to me that it's a hard it's hard to let go of somebody that you feel a connection with or an attachment with. But the one thing to always take away from any relationship is that it is not the only one out there or available. You know, people are unique to an extent, but when it boils down to it, we there are real TV tropes. Real life is like a fountain of XPs. So I'll give you an example. I'm the nerd, whatever. You're gonna find some more nerds around the area. Just there are and everywhere, dime a dozen type deal. And we might all vary a little bit. I'll be interested in politics. Another one might be interested in cartoons or something, which I am to an extent. But even then, it's still different than me, slightly, but not enough to where it should I should be seen as someone who's so unique and so special. I even had a friend of mine send me, basically show me a photo. He didn't send it. We were in person. He showed me a picture of this girl that he was apparently talking to, whatever. She's, he said, oh, she's so attractive. She's so beautiful. I look at this picture of her, and she is attractive, mind you. But the way he describes her and how he makes her out to be just this wonderful, wonderful lady. I just look at him and I go, yeah, never seen that before. Because I've seen it multiple times. I see it with some of the, very girls I talk to now. Um, which is why I kind of have a reluctance to even bother, you know, talking to some wide variety anyway, or just speaking to a whole bunch of people at once because you start to see similar patterns. I have a type A, type B, and type C for most of the girls I talk to. Type A is, okay, well, I'll talk to you for a little bit, then abruptly stop responding, and then I'll either, message you for a week or so after, and then just cut off abruptly. Type B is, okay, we'll talk for a little bit. I'll kind of give my opinions, you give your opinions. We agree to disagree, and then we'll stop at some point. Type C is just, oh well, we'll talk here and there, and we'll last. And it's just those are the I'm telling you, every single relationship I've had with a female in the last, platonic relationship that is, has ended or continued. Type C is obviously a continuation in that same basic format. And you know what? It probably is the same way reversed with gender. So You know, a girl would have type A, type B, type C type guy. And I know I fit in one of those three types where it's the person who always is the one to send the last message or tries to keep the conversation going and all of that. And I guess at some point it gets kind of annoying. Why are you sending me messages? Just leave me alone. Um, but I accept that about me. I, realize that that is something I am capable of doing or continue to do so. And I try to move on from it and make a little bit of a difference in the way I speak to members of the opposite sex because I figured out a while ago I'm less likely to have a guy do that because obviously they'll whatever we'll just speak, hang out, whatever, chill. But then if you have a girl who's got, I'm assuming, let's face it, most of the girls who are moderately attractive will have a number of guys that are interested in talking to them. And if you don't fit the bill, or if you're not interesting enough and you don't appeal, you're going to get ignored. And I've been on the receiving end of it enough times to where I kind of laugh it off now because it's not. One thing I figured out is it's not as bad the more you see it. It gets more annoying because oh, here we go again. And I've become a little bit cynical with it, but it's still you don't feel that same type of to sum it up in a good way. I used to do a thing where I go, oh, I'm just going to focus on this one girl for a couple of months. And, if that relationship didn't turn out, I would be all sad and, oh, this sucks. It's horrible. No crying or anything, but just, disappointed to a large extent. I wouldn't say depressed either, but it got frustrating. And now I just kind of let it roll off my back as far as how it affects me mentally. I might take a hiatus and I'll still just say I'm just done for this time and I'm just finished for the moment. But it's not something to allow yourself to think about so readily. And that is kind of where I'm about to go with this and sort of lead into the conclusion of what I'm saying. When one focuses on people who make them feel bad and do not contribute to them in any meaningful way. They're not paying your bills, they're not paying for you to go to college, they're not making you feel good. What's the point of focusing on them? That's an honest question. What is the point of focusing on someone who does nothing for you but bring you pain, bring you sadness, bring you regret, which is what a lot of them brought me. I was like, oh, I messed it up so badly. If I was only a little bit more interesting, no. Because I know I'm capable of keeping those types of relationships now. I've kept those. I have a guy we met, back in um, early, preschool. We still talk. I don't want to hear it. I know it's possible. I've seen it come true. It's just nothing about, wishes and fantasies. Oh, he thinks he's got a friend. Like, I know I have one, or more, rather, that I've met in recent time. We'll see how those last. But the point I'm making is it's entirely possible to move on from any platonic or romantic rejection and still manage to be successful with somebody else platonically or romantically. And yes, it's frustrating seeing it over and over again, turn up unsuccessful. But just because you have a couple of, dry spells, for lack of a better term, anybody knows the weather over, well, anywhere, because it rains in most parts of the world. I think all of them. I'm no geographical guy, but the point I'm making is those experiences do not define the person. The person defines themselves. That person can't see you for what you are, or you feel as if you're better than the way they treat you. Then just forget about them. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're a classmate, a former lover, any of that. I just let it go. Because and you know what? Don't feel bad about letting them go, or because they let you go, or they didn't feel bad about talking to you or treating you the way they did. How many times did you have liked to be acknowledged or thought of or spoken to, but you didn't? And you know what? That's fine because you're going to find people who will acknowledge you and will give you the attention and respect you deserve. It's so easy to just completely uh, discard of somebody and go, loser, put that little L in front of your face. But it's a lot harder to work that person up and make them a winner. Would you, I mean, honest question, would you be more proud of saying, you know what? because of me, or because of me being nice to that person, this individual had the motivation to go out and do things that made them feel better about themselves and actually became successful? Or would you rather be the person who goes, "Oh yeah, I knew he would fail. Yeah, yeah, that loser over there. Yeah, he couldn't do it. I knew it." You'd rather be the former, the person who created the winner or helped in making the winner. I know that. No one wants to be the person who's credited with destroying someone's life that's done nothing to them but try to befriend them. Which is why I'm advocating for this, because I'm so sick of seeing people sit over and whine, "Oh, she don't like me no more. She's not she's not big on me no more, man. I don't know what happened. She she just completely forgot about me. The relationship isn't so good anymore." Yeah, it's not so good anymore because it never was good. This person, if you were so important to them, you think they would just dumped you romantically or platonically again? Stop speaking to you altogether? No. And let's make no mistake about it. There is a distinctive change we all go through. We all have our character development, so to speak, where our likes and dislikes change. And they went from liking you to disliking you. Hey, it happens to all of us. There are some people some girls I liked when I was in ninth grade. Now, out of high school, I could care less about them. I couldn't care less about them romantically anyway. I'm not talking about, I hope something happens to them, but just you change as a person just as they've changed as a person, and their interests change, and you're not in their interest anymore. They're not interested in speaking to you anymore. But you know what? There's still a bunch of other people that probably are. And that can be family members, some other individuals you might meet or have known before then. It's always that way. You never have just this one person who is just, "Oh, can't speak to him. Nope, can't speak to her. No, not at all. Nope, no, no way." No, that's not real. That's an illusion that has been set by uh, the high school cliques, all of that, where if you don't fit in with me or him, you don't fit in with anybody. It's just, it's so broad and generalizing to even suggest such a thing when there are so many different people with so many different tastes. And, that's how I know that it's successful for um, really anybody, because we all have our interests. You have some people who like baseball, you have some people who like cartoons, you have some people who like the news. Whoever's watching fits into one of those groups. And to think that you can't be accepted by anyone is just an understatement. And my biggest evidence of this is that I was accepted by somebody. And if I'm accepted by somebody, let's just say a very, very significant, I would say anybody can be accepted by somebody, because I have my own, distinctive traits that are, a combination of things I like to do, and I know it's possible for others. So that's just my 2 cents on this. That's just how I feel. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.